So thanks a lot for this opportunity. So it's been a sheer pleasure working with you and your team at III in creating this survey and executing it, and subsequently working very closely with you on the report. So it's been a great experience. So thanks a lot. Now, moving on to the question at hand. Sir, it's imperative from our perspective to understand that the ground has changed. So, as a matter of fact, it's imperative for us, everyone in the insurance industry, to come up with the new ground rules. Now, how we were operating before March 2020 is not applicable in today's day and age. We have heard extensively about digitization. We have heard extensively about need for training. We have heard extensively about the on-ground problems. And as investigators, that's precisely what came our way as well. But before I delve into that, there's a question that's been, I've been sort of troubling me for a while. Now, why does India as an economy, as a nation, has not as of now criminalized fraud, insurance fraud? Every major economy in the world has a very strong legal recourse available for insurance industry when it comes to fighting fraud. Unfortunately, in India, in spite of the humongous numbers that we come across, there is still a big question mark about whether there is, a clear legal angle under which the fraudsters can be, handled. It is imperative that we address this at this point in time. So that's number one. Now, new normal is nothing but what we all cumulatively decide and define. So until we do not define the ground rules, again, I reiterating, unless we do not define the new rules, the new ground rules, new normal will probably wither away in few months, few quarters. So it's important for us to have a deep introspection of how we as an industry intend to address and tackle fraud in the insurance industry. I'm increasingly hearing about digitization. Yes, there are digital tools. They have been around for a while. We have been pushing it in the market for good, 3 to 4 years. But it's important to understand that from an investigator's perspective, these digital tools in our parlance are nothing more than verification tools. So yes, whatever claims, whatever documents the claimants have laid out, we can use the digital tools to verify them. But when it comes to on-ground intelligence gathering and investigation, face-to-face still remains the bedrock. Now, with the whole digital aspect to it, again, as I said, we have to embrace it. We do not have a choice. There are parts of the country which are in no-go areas, and there will be part of the country which will be in no-go zones in time to come. But as an industry, it's important for us to lay the ground rules to understand this is how we, to this level of investigation we will do using online, and then when we go on the ground, hardcore on-ground investigations will take place. So from our end as investigators, element of surprise just goes away when you send someone a link and say, hey, can you come on the link and talk to us about a particular claim. So for us, the crux of our tradecraft is to go on the ground, gather intelligence first, many times covertly, then subsequently try to match it with what the claimants are claiming to be. So if these facts match, then yes, there is strength in the claimant's case. Otherwise, there is something suspicious. Now, unfortunately, in our experience in last 18 odd months, the moment you bring in, try to do your investigations through online, that element of surprise goes away. The moment you find a link in your mobile, you are, as a fraudster, you are completely ready to encounter anything that is thrown your way. So that is something that we all have to think about. Get the right standard operating procedures for investigations going forward, keeping the pandemic in mind. It's important for us to work towards criminalizing insurance fraud. I cannot enforce, I cannot emphasize more how, because at Lancers we do various other investigations, and we have seen wherever there is a criminalization, the fraudsters, they know that there can be a big backlash, which is strong and which will lead to legal recourse and can adversely impact the future of their life. Number three, I strongly believe that it is imperative upon IRDA to acknowledge the contribution of private insurance investigators in the insurance ecosystem. As of now, unfortunately, even though we are the sentinels of your profits, every single thing, every single report that an insurance investigator is working on is working to ensure that insurance companies do not incur a loss that can be avoided. Now, that, in my opinion, is a very pivotal role, which the foot soldiers of insurance industry, that is us lot, we are going on the ground, fighting against the odds, many times fighting hostility. But in the grander scheme of things, the IRDA, as of now, has unfortunately not really recognized the contribution that we're making. Now, this doesn't necessarily have to be in regulation. It can be anything deemed fit, but it's imperative that someone stood up and kind of took note.
Let me ask you a related question too. Are you finding a skill gap is standing in your way?
Certainly, sir. Certainly, there is no two ways about it. And that skill gap is related to a very bizarre phenomena that has been taking place in the insurance investigation industry for the last 20 years. I mean, I've been in this for the last 20 years, and trust me, sir, the amount that is being paid for an investigation today is not very different from what it was being paid 20 years ago. Now, what happens, even within Lancers, there have been very good insurance investigators who've been working with us for the last 20 years. But as they grow, their aspirations increase. And then there are salary hikes that they expect out of us. So the P&L of insurance investigation within Lancers was not able to afford that guy. So we had to move that chap to a different P&L, to a different division, doing more lucrative investigations for us. So it's important for everyone, again, going back to my request to the insurance industry at large, the ground has changed. It's important to lay the new ground rules. And with the skill gap, sir, if we are paying good money, it is important that we get the certified investigators. For this, we have worked tremendously hard. I mean, you, Madam Archana, we've all been involved in creating CPII. It is probably the first such certification anywhere in the world for private insurance investigators, where various insurance companies came about and contributed towards creating the curricula. So I strongly believe, sir, that it's imperative that we bring certification. We ensure that certification is the benchmark against which every single investigator is judged. And the insurance companies need to ensure, it is for their greater good in grander scheme of things, that they will not give work to anyone who's not certified. So once we have this, we've got certified guys hitting the ground. You will see, insurance companies will end up saving much more than what they are right now.